Powered by Virginia Radio.
Peace. Can you hear me? Fellas, how you doing? Sisters, y'all all right?
All right.
Yes. Welcome to Goddess Talk. I'm MOABITESS. And this actually is the official launch off of Goddess Talk. Y'all give it some snaps real quick.
Snap.
Yes, let's give it some snaps. I'm very, very excited about this. I feel like this is something that the streets needed. This is where you're going to get the streets mixed in with some spirituality or a little conscious talk. Here at the Goddess Talk, we're going to have all type of guests. I first want to go ahead and introduce my first two guests that's here to start this show off with me. Let's give it up for my goddess, Lisa. Introduce yourself, sis.
Hey, I'm Lisa, Goddess Lisa, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And then we also have a very, very special guest from the 757. This is a real from the streets to now helping the streets. One of our very own street walkers, street stalkers, Goddess.
Yo, what's up, people? How y'all doing? Peace to everybody. Yeah, I'm definitely in the building supporting my sis. I'm just glad to be here.
Honest gratitude for that. Now here I want everybody to know this is a safe space. You can be your authentic self.
Yeah.
I don't care how high you think that may be or how low you may be. When I welcome you here, we here to I'm gonna bring you to the goddess vibration.
That's right.
So you be your exactly. My vibe is going to take you there.
That's right.
We're going to cover a lot of different topics. Of course, everybody know me as MOABITESS in the music world. They know I do music. They know I battle rap. But also those who really know me know that.
Good too.
All gratitude. Yes.
Yeah, you are dope. You dope. Yeah.
Gratitude. And those who really know me don't know that I'm really an activist. I'm for my people. I'm really out in these streets in my community trying to show my people that we are lawfully in a position that we can get ourselves out of. And it's more to life than just battle rapping. And so I'm going to have a lot of battle rap guests up here. I'm going to have politicians. I'm going to have athletes up here. Pardon me. But here we're going to peel open their onion and we're going to get to the core of them and we're going to get to the God or goddess in them. How that sound to y'all?
That's dope. Like, come on.
Okay. Now, for the first point of business, Gotti, you have an organization for the children out in the community. It's called Bags for the Kids Movement, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Bags for the Kids Movement started with a lot of my bros that I was locked up with. And a lot of us are now back on the streets, just doing the right things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it started from. We wanted to show the parole board, we wanted to show DOC, and the people that locked us up that, you can give some people second chances. People do change out here.
That's
so
right.
We started with that, and then we got pushed in with the kids. We would go out to respect the communities and give their snack bags to the kids. And that gives us an intangible to go out there and talk to the kids, especially with this pandemic of gun violence we got in the hood.
Right.
So what was the last thing y'all have done in the community, or what is the next thing that y'all have going on in the community?
Well, the last thing was the softball game, the Stop the Violence softball game that we had. Pretty phenomenal. A lot of people came out, state people, city people, in the hood.
Okay.
People, us. It was very, very, very cool. Very cool. I was kind of flabbergasted. How you say it?
Flabbergasted.
by the multitude of people that came out. It
Right.
surprised me, but I thank everybody that helped me.
Now, for those who don't know about Newport News, Virginia, or what we call Bad News, Virginia, where we come from in our area, even from the era from where you came from, all the way up to the era of now, give people, and I'm talking about the gritty part, because I want people to get an idea of what we're coming out of and the things that we are trying to do. Give people just an experience of you growing up in Bad News. I'm so Bad News.
Oh, yeah, Bad News. I remember Marshall Courts, 35th Street, we call that the one-way, because it's one way.
One way out, yeah.
That's where I started my journey from when I came down here from Newark, New Jersey. can I say? It's martial courts. A lot going on. You know.
And for those who don't know, Marshall Courts is a subsidized housing area, right? So it's for people with low income.
That's right.
It's one of our the hood staples in Bad News.
Yes.
And so I grew up literally in my So Bad News challenge. That was literally the truth. Like I literally grew up from the bottom all the way up to Dresden.
Right.
So we touched Marshall Courts. Yeah. And then we used to walk from the towers all the way up to Newsom Park, and that was a journey. Like that was a journey in itself. So when you talk about bad news, right, it's not called bad news for just no reason.
Right.
Even to this day, we have a lot of killings. Actually, that's a subject we might as well get on to it because we actually have a lot of killings. That's in our area.
Violence, put the guns down.
Put the guns
down.
Well, this is the thing. I'm not even really a person that believes in put the guns down. So I'm not.
I mean, you can exercise your second right, but don't hurt people.
And don't point it at the wrong person.
Yeah, you got.
My problem is that there's a bigger war on us, and all of our killers are dying.
Right.
And so when I talk about all of our killers, I'm talking about good people, the good people that's here to protect, that want to protect the community. I'm not talking about somebody that just recklessly can shoot a gun. I'm talking about the good people that's in our area that don't mind standing up for the women and the children and stuff like that. They're all dying. And so now, when the time comes when these people going to really point these guns at us, who's going to be here to protect us?
Right. That's why you got to start with the youth, though. Teaching them the right way to utilize these guns. Also, like, teaching them how to go about getting their rights for their guns properly. Not just, like, toting, stolen or traded off guns or ones that's not in their name. You know what I'm saying? So, and knowing who your enemy is. That's key component. Like, who are we fighting against? I'm not fighting against you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So know who your real enemy is versus just because it's cool, it's on a song. I'm like, I felt disrespect, I can shoot and kill you. Like, no. So that's what I think.
The only time that we should feel comfortable as a people, as a person, anybody, individual should feel comfortable talking about get off my block or I'm going to kill you, as if they fought the system to own that block.
Right, absolutely.
You can't fight me for something that these people can come and snatch out your hand at any given moment because now we're playing the fool by half.
Right.
And so it's like, I feel like when it comes to on my block, right, I want to bring out all the things that's going on in our communities because, first of all, if a lot of people move the way they moving, right, it's out of insufficiency of knowledge.
Right. Absolutely.
So I'm not going to touch on the subject without at least trying to bring a resolution to the forefront because nobody maybe not sat down with them.
Right.
So hopefully this show, once it get shared, liked, and commented on, hopefully they can see that and we can just give ways for our hood to just elevate itself.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so what's going on in your area?
My area, I'm over on the other side, so I'm in Virginia Beach area, Chesapeake, Norfolk, that type of, but it's just more like a lot of injustice on the low-level communities, the melanated communities, as far as how our rights are being respected, taken away, disrespected. We got a lot of killings and stuff that's not talked about. It's not hitting the news, right? But I'm in the area, so people getting raped over there, people getting murdered over there. It's drug abuse, substance abuse. But what I've noticed is it's a lot of rehabilitation opportunities over there, more so than it is on this side. But that's because it's different type of people. It's a little bit more diverse.
Right.
So, of course, this is, I come from this side. So not Newport News, but more so Hamptonshire Road. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly what it is. And I call myself getting out, going to the other side, seeing something different, giving myself an opportunity and realize that I ain't wanted over there,
Yeah.
So I had to adapt first, learn, and then move different. But it's a lot of poverty going on over there. It's a lot of injustice more so. They doing a lot of, locking people up and holding them for long periods of times without cases. It's just a lot of that going on. Right. So, yeah. So
I forgot, y'all, we had a special guest, too, with us also. Because he's over there, y'all, he been over here sitting so quiet. Come on, introduce.
Yeah, and that is my bad for not introducing him. I blame that on Snoop Dogg. But I got one of my guys, Jay. He's helped me tremendously since he's come home. He's freshly home, and he's out here in these streets with me. Whenever I call him, he's there. Today, he's here. Let's give a hand and a snap for my number 2 in command of Bad for the Kids movement, Jay.
Yes, Jay.
Welcome home, too.
Yes, welcome home. Yes, we can hear you.
No, you got the light on?
Yeah, the light is on.
Go ahead now.
That was mine.
I'm good.
Yours was on.
That's funny. Y'all just give us 1 second, because I think that's beautiful that Jay just fresh out here.
Right.
And the first thing that he's doing is putting his feet to the pavement.
Right.
You know.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
As long as you keep that up, that's how you're going to continue to grow and prosper. A lot of people got how we prosper in this world all wrong. Right. As long as we help somebody else, it has to come back and manifest as something beautiful for us.
Right, absolutely.
The more we be selfish, the more, you can find some people that can get wealthy selfish, right? But how happy are they?
Right.
How
absolutely.
content are they in their wealth? They're looking over their shoulder all the time. They don't feel protected. They're very paranoid. Exactly. Right. They're not at peace. So, I think that's a beautiful thing to come home and already understand that, listen, my feet got to hit these grounds for good.
Right, absolutely.
Shout out Jay.
Your mic working yet?
Nah.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on now?
Yep.
Alright. Yeah, I'm Jay, aka my real name is Maurice. I was born and raised in Hampton. I lived out NEWPORT. Anybody that know my story know I went to prison at the age of 16. And I stayed all the way up to the age of 41. And it's crazy. You read my crimes. Nobody was injured. Nobody was hurt. It was for robbery. Yes, I should have done some time, but not the time that I done. Being a first time offender, being a juvenile. But things happen, man. I feel like God took me on that journey for a reason.
Wow.
And I seen a lot on that journey. And the program that we got now, as far as helping the youth, man, we trying to get kids back to reading. And we feel like if you get to reading, man, it open up so many doors for individuals when you get to reading. That's how a lot of us escape prison.
You're right.
And doing time is by reading and
Right.
picking up books. And
my grandma used to say you could travel the world twice through a book.
Exactly. I never been to Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I heard about Black Wall Street. Black Rosewood in Florida. I've never been to these places, but through books, I can tell you about these individuals.
And it has an effect on you too.
Yes, no question. Right. And it just go to show you, man, this is what you can do. This is how you open up your third eye with reading.
Right.
And I feel like if we get kids to read, they'll understand that their neighborhoods is small, and you got a big world out there.
Right.
I'm talking about your state is small compared to the United States, and we want to get through this program that we got. We're gonna get kids to travel to different states. We're gonna get them to see different things. We're gonna get them to open up their talents, man, because they got plenty of talents out here. It's just been bottled up because there's nobody out there to explore these talents. All they think we can do is play basketball and football.
That's right.
We're gonna show that we got young architects out there.
That's right.
I'm talking about young designers. We're gonna show this.
I honor y'all. I would like to say I honor y'all for a real serious reason, right?
Right.
I'm gonna say about 9, maybe 10 years ago, I went to a couple of street dudes who I knew at the time, was getting money. Had a few things going on with them. So I'm like, look, I want to hold a meeting, right? And I'm not going to say the first part that I said to them just out of protection of my government and my nation and my people. But I'm like, listen, there's certain things that I have protection for that we can work into conjunction with, right? But also, right, we need to think about getting some property downtown, because at this time I had looked into it, and you can buy land at this time downtown for as cheap as $8,000 to $10,000.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And so I'm like, we need to get some property, because this is when I really started noticing they were shutting down Dickinson Court and all that, right? So I'm like, it's getting serious. Like, we need to start thinking about it. You know what they said to me? They said, no, you tripping. Kimber, you joking. You thinking too deep on it, right? But now we have these Europeans that came and brought almost the whole downtown out.
Right.
But is it worth getting that land with them people and then losing it?
It's not. It would have been worth. It would have been worth getting it. Like, what do you mean by losing it? Because if you get it with the people that's in the streets doing the street stuff, you know what I'm saying? You liable to lose that. No.
You are.
No, that's why I came to them, because no, that's why I came to them.
Yeah. See, I like
to
not be tied into none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you in the streets doing your thing, do your thing, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care about that money, about what you got going on, because when the feds come down and the RICO cases come along, I don't want to be part of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose my little shit I'm building over because you get a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? I'll get mine when the time is right.
I definitely wasn't, and definitely still not on that wave right there, because I am a law person. Mm-hmm. So they like right now, their identification hasn't even been disclosed. So them in connection to anything with what was going to be done lawfully was never going to be a question about anything. Mm-hmm. I just needed the means to get some things done. Right. And they thought that I was crazy.
No, you
wasn't
crazy.
Now that I turned around, we're losing our heritage.
Right. That's a fact.
I'm literally bad news.
And you watching it.
What you gotta realize is, when you're dealing with the black community, we can't see past tomorrow.
Right.
You can tell a guy right now, man, I would give you $5 million in the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. Or would you take this 100,000 right now?
They gonna take the 100.
They gonna take the 100,000 because it's right there in their face.
Right.
You got a chance to get 10 million, yo.
In the next 10 years.
In the next 10 years. Like,
thug it out.
Yeah. Without trying, you been thugging it out.
Or what about this? So you tell somebody, I'll give you $100,000 right now, or a penny a day, right?
Yeah.
I compound a penny a day for you. Most people take the $100,000 not knowing the compound a penny a day will turn into $1 million real in a year, really.
Yeah.
It is real quick. So it's like, you know, and that'll lead me to the next topic of conversation of, you know, we're in the age of entrepreneurship, right?
Right.
But I'm learning that our people that look like us, the so-called black people, right?
Right.
We're kind of like the last people in this boat. We're still holding on real tight to the employee label.
That's a fact.
Versus the business owner or the entrepreneur.
Right. The CEO.
Right. And so what do y'all think about that? Like, what are y'all thoughts on business owner versus employee? And I do understand that everybody can't be a business owner. You do need employees.
Well, I think, like me personally, I'm like pure entrepreneur, right? So I think it's like a misperception on it too, because in order to be an entrepreneur, though, you got to be built for it.
Mm-hmm. You do.
You know what I'm saying? Some people, I think that some people lean towards working for somebody because it's not as much thought you have to put into it, and you don't take as many losses. You take a lot of wins when you doing your thing and it's flowing, right? But when you losing, though, you really got to be built for it, and it really got to be a passion and all of that, or else you'll step out and end up working for somebody anyways.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so it's just like,
makes sense.
I think both is necessary, because if you own a business, eventually you're going to need somebody to work for you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but it's just about having the right people, though, and I think just proper education on it. Knowing, like, you're not going to... The false reality in social society right now is that if you work for yourself, you're going to make a whole bunch of money. Your TikTok's going to take... all of that.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, you might fumble $3,000 in one day on a bad investment. You know what I'm saying? And you was only counting on that to go through. Now you ain't set up no backup, no nothing. You don't... people already wasn't even pouring into the idea anyways. So you can't say they was looking for you to fail anyway. So you can't turn to them and be like, yo, I lost my money.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you should. That's why I'm going to work.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like understand proper education. I think that entrepreneurship is always a good thing to do, even if for nothing else as a backup. You know, you got your 9 to 5, but you find out you interested or you love making mugs, coffee mugs. Make the mugs, see who else like them, and sell them. You know, it becomes like a hustle type of deal. If you don't want to get into the logistic aspect of it, you know, the paperwork aspect, you know, make your coins on the side legally. You know what I'm saying? Right. Teach the kids how, okay, you might want to go to college and be that doctor and work for a hospital, but you also might like making T-shirts. So let's do the T-shirts, you know what I'm saying, while you're in school to get that money up to do, you know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, it's just proper education on it, you know, weighing it out and stuff.
So Jay, coming out of prison, right?
Yes.
I feel like, what would be your sight or your thought on, should you go look for a 9 to 5, or should you go maybe if you learn some trades, because you've been in prison, you said a long time.
Yeah.
So you were in prison during the time where they offered education, higher education and stuff like that, because I know they took them away from a lot of people in prison now.
Yes.
So you were there where you could have got a lot of certifications and higher education. Yes. So do you feel like maybe being a business owner is the move for you coming out of prison, or maybe trying your hand with getting a 9 to 5?
I would definitely say, coming fresh out of prison, you probably want to do the 9 to 5 first, because you want to get a feel. I've been gone for a long time, since 1997, so I had to get acquainted with everything that was new, like even pumping gas, like, so I know I was not ready to come out and run a business right off top. Right. So, but in due time, without a shadow of a doubt, you work, get that experience, you learn your employees. So therefore, when I do have my own business, I know how to treat my employees.
Right.
Instead of me jumping out there and trying to freestyle and try to figure it out as I go along, and wind, like she said, fumbling the business. So I wouldn't right off the gate, unless you got good people that ran businesses around you. Right. And I think that's like the most important thing. Yeah, you gotta have experience without a shadow of a doubt. So, and not even experience, but somebody that's gonna tell you, yo, you messing up, yo. Like,
right.
You need that support.
That's the whole experience.
Yeah,
no question. Up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What people don't want to do that you gotta do. You gotta go out there, risk it, mess up. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
Learn through the failure.
Yeah.
Don't let the mess up stop you. You know
Exactly.
Don't let it get you down. Don't let it make you mad. Don't make you upset. None of that, man. Just understand you messed up, and now you know how not to mess up.
Right.
Because you messed up.
Because when I first came home, man, I went and applied for a city job, and I haven't committed a crime since 1997. So how can you possibly tell me that I'm not qualified for this job?
That's how we feel, though, right?
That's
how we feel for real.
And it was to get me discouraged. It was to get me sidetracked, to get me.
Exactly.
But at the same time,
they already know how we feel.
Exactly.
They got experiment on us, man. It's real, man.
Exactly.
It's working, and it needs to stop. You know what
right.
I mean?
Absolutely.
We need to stop thinking like the wrong way. Understand how to think the right way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's the most important thing, right there.
Right. I just said that earlier.
We just about to do some amazing things, because as beings, we all powerful, man. Super powerful, man.
That's right.
Yeah, it's real. You know
Big
what I mean?
powerful.
Yeah, and it come from a black culture too, man. Like
it does.
Like what you said, when you can go to guys and tell them, yo, let me get this money, yo, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the industry, you can look at the music industry, and you'll ask why Jay-Z and Puff don't have a football team or a baseball team or some type of team together. Because individuals count individuals' money.
Right.
And you got white individuals that don't do that. They see the bigger plan. Like, yo, this is what we can make off of this.
Right.
We're not worrying about who gonna fatten who pockets at the end of the day. Yo, we all gonna eat at the end of the day.
Right. And then Europeans got their whole thing also is that this is what our grandchildren can make off of.
Right. They looking at like
children's children.
They looking at the legacy.
Right.
Exactly. You know, instead of how we can fatten our
we gotta start thinking like that too.
Well, you gotta understand, you know, legacy. Yeah. A lot of people don't value life, and they don't understand. Like you said, they don't see past tomorrow. Right. So it's like it's very important that we start like setting goals.
That's right.
You know, where do I see myself? Even if you don't want to take yourself 5 years, next year, 2 years, 3. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just start giving setting goals and just envisioning different things. You know what I'm saying? Because I think
Dream
that's what.
big, man. Like,
Yeah, dream big.
Like, yo, step out there. Take
Right.
a chance. Like,
Right.
yo, okay, you might fail without a
Right.
shadow of a doubt, but you might succeed. And how beautiful it is to succeed.
That's
like,
right.
It's
How
a
beautiful
thing,
it is
yo,
to
like,
succeed.
Yes, yo, it's a beautiful
You
thing.
hear nobody complaining about success.
That's right.
And people say I got a nonchalant attitude, but I did too much time and I let these people take too much from me.
Right.
So my approach to things now, especially out here being in society, is like, yo, I keep it moving. Like, yo, it's hard to get me down. Like, seriously, like,
how
yo.
how a person gonna understand you and how you move? They ain't you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You,
Yeah,
you,
no
you,
question,
you,
yo.
I understand
right.
you don't understand. I got to keep moving. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Yo, I gotta shake it off and keep moving. Yo, it get
Keep
better.
moving,
Yo, like,
Yeah, it will.
yo, I done been through worse times.
Right.
This is
right.
nothing right here, yo.
Right.
This is a cakewalk, yo.
Right.
You out here complaining?
Right. When you got that moment where it's like, I used to pray for days like this.
Yes,
These type
right.
of problems, So.
Like, man,
Yeah.
man, I sat in traffic for an hour the other day. I'm talking about I had the best time in the world.
Right.
Yeah, yo, I'm sitting in traffic. Like,
Free.
That's how you gotta do
yes,
it. Like,
Free.
Yeah.
I know my brothers, yo, I got brothers that's locked up that may never come home. And like, yo,
Right.
they dream of this type of time.
Right, they do.
Exactly.
Yes, yo,
Exactly.
like, they love to hear me doing this and doing this out here, yo.
Right.
I'll shout them out real quick.
Yeah, I'm talking about, I got brothers in the system, man. Lawrenceville, Greensville, you name it, man. Taban.
My mom
Yo,
was in Lawrenceville.
Not away.
Oh, really?
Yep, my mom was in Lawrenceville.
Wow,
Mountain.
yo. Yeah, in King Mountain, man. Waters Ridge, wherever y'all
St.
let,
Bride.
man. Y'all got family members. Yo, hit them up. Send them an email, yo. You don't know how far that email goes. I'm talking
Right.
about just to brighten their day. Yo, you ain't got to send no money every time.
Wow.
Right.
Just the thought.
Sis,
you
that might be
thought
a
of
thought. The goddess pen pal.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so-
And that don't
like,
nothing,
that's
and not even
crazy.
nothing. It'd be something like unanimous.
Right.
So it can't be
right.
turned into nothing lewd.
Right.
Yes.
You just unanimously sending out
Yes,
words
yo.
of encouragement.
Right.
Yes,
right.
yo.
Right.
That sound like
These
an
guys
idea.
need that, yo. Like, I'm talking about, yo, it's hard times in there. Like, I had a cousin, man, that supposed to came home this year. And he was getting good time. They passed a good time bill.
Right.
And at the last minute,
They
the governor
switched it
came
back.
in and took this good time
They
bill
did.
back. I'm
Oh
talking about
wow!
these
So he was
guys-
one of the ones that got caught in.
Yes,
Oh,
these
wow.
I
guys
heard
were
about
set to
that,
come
too.
home. The POs
Oh, man,
came
messed
and
up.
visit homes and everything. Talked to family members and saying your family member was coming home.
Wow.
And then the governor stepped in. I'm talking about, and it's so crazy he did it at the last minute. If he would have came right in the office and been like, yo, I'm taking this good time bill back. But you waited 2 weeks before these guys was about to come home.
Right.
And you did this. Like,
But that was the like
That's
set
messed up, man.
set it off.
yeah.
But it was supposed to do some. My honest opinion was like we were supposed to, as a community, like hold
Y'all can't
up.
do that.
Yeah,
Y'all can't
like
do
we were
that.
supposed to stand up
Yeah.
on that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You're
Because
right.
that's the
Okay.
problem. Like I remember one time I was in a court. I went to Norfolk Court one time and I sat in there and the case that I was in there for, I was the last case to be called, and I was really sitting in there listening to like first offenders and I'm saying like when I look at the community and stuff and I'm like people don't show up for their families in court and stuff. That's something that you need to see. They need to see the numbers. They need to see us in there
exactly.
sitting with, because it doesn't make any sense. You could have a young man, he come out, he did 5 years. I saw a young man, he did 5 years. He came out for a year. He had a job and everything, and I think he was riding with somebody that had a gun. But they gave him 5 more years just like that.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was like, but nobody was even there for him, in there. And even if family is not there, like advocates, like, I feel like it should be some type of adult field trip so people can sit in court and see what they're doing. Because nobody really cares until it's them. When you get a traffic ticket, you got a court. You like, if you could pay it, you going to pay because you don't want to sit in there. Because it's honestly sad.
Mm-hmm.
Our community need to
A
step
lot of people
up.
don't even know the laws that
They don't.
that happen in court. Like it can be so much going on in front of you that you wouldn't even know. To whereas like somebody could sit on they would know what side of the courtroom to sit on.
Yeah.
That would be
Right.
beneficial to their court case.
Right.
The lawyer say something that the rest of the people, I would be looking, I would look around, hold on, am I the only one that heard that?
Right.
But literally, basically, they just told the judge to let them peoples off. Let them peoples off.
Right.
This is my man. Let them peoples off. I was like, hold on.
He
now.
has a good rapport. They use big words and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, basically, I known him, you know, from, and they'll throw out like hints, you know, where they know this is from Ashford, Virginia, or whatever, you know, so then they can make the connections. But, you know, we just got to do better.
So I want to touch on something real quick while y'all here.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure. Pardon me.
Shout out Paul Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Peace, Paul Taylor.
Condolences, bro.
He did big things.
Yeah, he's
No
a general
question.
in our community. He had a situation. Shout out and condolences to you and your family, brother.
I'm sending energy. I don't know what the situation may be.
Me too.
But my brother said shout out to you. So Taylor
my
Paul.
dogs. You Taylor Paul.
Yeah, that's I said I mean
He's
everybody
general
love
out
and
here
light.
working.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta shout him out. Hey,
Yes.
Condolences, my bro.
Condolences and
Can't wait
energy
to
sent
see
to
you.
you.
Yes.
Yep.
You anything else you wanted to touch on real quick? Okay, y'all. So
Thank you.
I got one for y'all. It's a 2-part question. I want to hear your thoughts about the dynamics between the God and the goddess, the man and the woman, right? And then the difference, what it is versus the conscious God and goddess, the conscious man and woman. Because I sit back from, and I'm going to wait till I'm last to say my thoughts, so I'm not going to say my thoughts, but I sit from the outside and I see a lot of disheartening things and I see a lot of encouraging things. So what's your thoughts?
For me, the discouraging things that I see out here is the death. You know, and these young kids don't care about killing, you know. And that's a whole nother topic. We can talk hours about that. But the good thing is, I see a lot of people, us, business-minded out here, having businesses, at least trying it, you know. And, you know, that's the good part that I see out here. I see a lot of people working, you know, grinding, trying to create businesses, you know. And that's a good thing. It's like it's a wave, you know.
Right.
You know, good vibe, dog.
And so what do you think about, what is your thoughts about the relationship as a totality between the so-called black man and the black woman?
Well, I don't know if this is the answer to your question, but I think we need to have dinner at the table together as a family more.
Right.
You know, things that I watched my grandma do. You know,
Okay.
always talk. You know, communicate.
Right.
You know, and today everybody is on these devices. You know, hardly say hello. My kids, that's all they do.
Right.
You know, yeah.
What about you, Jay?
The black relationship, man, it's hard out here, yo, cause you want a black queen, but at the same time, yo, you got so many females that'll do anything,
That's right. Yeah.
and guys choose to tend to take the one to do anything instead of taking the one that's gonna uplift you. And a lot of black guys are lazy, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, we willing to take the easy route. And I felt I learned that before I went to prison. Like, when I was in prison, we was quick to take the easy route instead of building with someone that's gonna help you build something. Like, yo, you got some beautiful black women out here. Like, I'm talking about amazing. Like, that's on another level. And some of y'all don't want to give brothers a chance, without a shadow of a doubt. Because you feel like, yo, I am not uplifting no person if he ain't got what he supposed to have by now.
Right.
You can hang that up. Like, like, you should check off these boxes before I do this and do that.
That's right.
And that's definitely understanding. Like, I tell any female, yo, if a guy don't have his own place, a car, and a job, like,
He ain't
why
ready
would
to
you
date.
waste his time? Like,
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't even, like, you really about to start going backwards.
He's not
Right.
ready to date.
Yeah, he's not ready to date.
And then this bad stigma comes out, right? That women are gold diggers. And I'm talking about even down to the true gold digger, right?
Right.
I want men to consider this fact, right? Us women by nature, we are very loving beings.
Yes.
Right.
We don't care if you're rich or you poor. If we love you, we are going to love you, right?
Right.
The worst feeling to a woman is to love a man at his lowest.
Right.
And then he do her dirty.
Yeah.
And he mistreat her once she help him get on his feet.
Right.
That would set something in a woman. That sets in her ovaries, her children.
Right.
Go not. Oh no, right. I don't want no broke man. Cause you broke and you don't play me.
Right. That's like a double jump.
Yeah, double whammy.
They're doing too much. So we got this bad stigma, but
Nah, but you should want someone that has their own stuff. Like that should set you on the same path. Like I tell any female I deal with, or even my fellas, yo, like, yo, we don't deal with nobody that can't bring nothing to the table.
That's right, yeah.
Like, yo, you can call it using, whatever, yo, but somebody got, you got to be able to bring something to the table.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's a fact. Because I just feel like it got to go that way because, say, for instance, my guy is down. Wouldn't he need to have, like, a strong, black woman or a strong woman, on his team? So if you fall on hard times, you can, but it got to go vice versa. So the rules definitely got to be leveled out and in the respect, the understanding, the friendship, all of that kind of stuff needs to go into play. Right. But I feel like it's happening. Like, I think that black love is kind of depicted a little bit. Because, I mean, it's more men stepping into...
It is.
Marriage and they tired. Like, I really feel like on both ends, everybody is tired at this point.
And I have a message to the goddesses. Right now, we are in an effect state, right? And there's a cause and an effect. And we are living in an effect state, right? But it's our time to raise our consciousness to the fact of we don't have to react. Right. To our experience with a man, because whatever experience that we chose, number one, we chose to have that man experience with that man.
Right.
But number two, it was a lesson.
Right.
So we don't have to
now,
if he hurt me, I got to go out and hurt him. I got to go and mess with his friends and stuff. We don't have to. If he don't take care of his child, I got to go and do all of this and ruin his. It's not right. But we have to understand that we are pure divinity.
Right.
So if somebody hurt us in the physical, if we act in our divine feminine,
that's right.
They're going to pay for it.
They are.
One way or another.
You don't have to worry about that. That's what.
Exactly.
That's what. Karma.
And we got to get back to that, and we can start producing more healthier relationships with men, or we can start producing more healthier men, because the lascivious men or the men that can't vibrate with that, is they're not going to be able to vibrate there.
Right, absolutely.
You can't save every man. Like, some guys you just can't save.
That's true.
And some women you can't save.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But like in any relationship though, like the first thing you think about is sacrifice. Like, yo, both of y'all got to be willing to sacrifice something.
Right.
And it might be something small as a family reunion. You might don't like her family, but you be like, you know what, I'm gonna suck it up because she want me to go.
Right.
And it might be a basketball game. She can't stand sports, but she be like, you know what, he want me to go.
Right.
I'm gonna sit there and watch the game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at the end of the day, yo, you gotta make sacrifices, yo. You gotta do sacrifice, and it gotta be communications.
Yeah.
A communication line that's always open, yo. You always gotta be able to speak your mind, even if it hurt the other person.
Right.
Say what's on your mind, yo, because you holding it in. Don't leave nothing, but it coming out later on, and then it come out in the worst way.
That's right.
So
and have an understanding, like you said, slow to react.
Yeah.
And all of that, because sometimes you could be reacting to something that's kind of not even. It's not even what you think it is.
Yeah.
But that's on men too. Like, everybody, in the relationship, anybody, they need to kind of like, hold on, let me make sure I heard this right. Then it goes to your communication. What did you mean by that? You know what I mean? So we can get a lot of clarity. I think the truth is what a lot of people be afraid of. But in the relationships too, sometimes it's like you find out that you don't really even like the person that you with for real, because y'all didn't communicate.
Right.
Y'all didn't, and then having standards. Independently have a standard for yourself and your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things that you want to go by, morals, principles, values, all of these things. I think a lot of relationships lack, or they forget about, or they don't even put in place. But that makes a difference, because when you with somebody, you building a legacy. if y'all going, you know, whether it's with kids or without them.
That's true.
You know.
Now there was a 2-part to this question. Now,
Okay.
Now coming from a conscious point of view, right? What I've noticed is that and I ain't talking about the fake conscious, because you do have a lot of men that prey on women by being fake conscious.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about that. But with men, I realized that's not in the conscious community. What they call simping is what a lot of conscious men have that makes the relationship so beautiful or so successful with their woman.
Right.
Because a conscious man, number one, like, they have no problem being vulnerable.
Right.
They don't already did a lot of shadow work with their self,
Right.
so they don't look at it as a weakness that they're opening up about. Even if down to, hey, you hurt my feelings.
Right.
Or I feel demasculated when you talk to me that way. Instead of reacting to me in a harsh way, you could just express that to me and let me know that. So a conscious man is a little bit more, I don't want to say it like this, but it's true. They're in touch with their feminine side.
Right.
And it's not in a way that's feminine about them, because it makes them such a man.
Right.
And then,
absolutely.
and then they don't have a lot of thugs that I know, right, are smart.
Right.
And that's why good girls like thugs. Because once they get behind closed doors with a thug, the thug turns into something different with that good girl.
You hear chemist, a bank
exactly.
teller, you know.
And so, but they're afraid to present that. So therefore, if they're afraid to present that, they don't reach their highest potential in their understanding, because they try to hide so much of it. And so with a conscious man, not only is he not afraid to delve into that, but he started to talk that talk to a woman.
Right.
And when you can open up a woman's mind, listen.
It's over
That's
with.
the battle.
Listen. These young men, they missing the mark. If you can open up a woman's mind, you can, because you can get a woman's body before night.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And
Men definitely talk. They talk themselves out of stuff sometimes.
Exactly.
Like, what are you saying? You just fumbled.
Exactly. And then to be quite honest, if you're with a highly conscious woman or a goddess type woman, because you know a lot of y'all got little fetishes, you're not even going to get her best the first night, or nowhere near her best, because she's really just feeling your energy out the first night.
Right.
So you worried about the wrong things. We got to worry about, if you unlock a woman's mind, you can unlock a lot of different things. So conscious men actually care about unlocking that part of a woman. That way, when they have the spiritual connection with the woman, that woman is ready to do whatever he say, because she done chose him now. This is going to be my God.
Yeah.
So I noticed that the difference is the street men, they got to be more comfortable in their masculinity to understand that you are masculine and feminine mixed, because you come from out of a womb. Your mother is a mother. Your father is a father. And you got to know, you got to love your mother and know your mama to know a woman and love a woman.
That's right.
And so...
And you got to know your place, man.
Exactly.
Y'all see I'm not saying too much, right? Because I got these two powerful women. I wish I would.
So look, y'all, I want to bring a little segment to the show, right? I was thinking about this. Y'all let me know what y'all think, or if y'all have any ideas out there, y'all shoot them to me in the message, in the inbox. You can find me on Twitter at MOABITESS. You can find me on Instagram, MauriceBeauty7. You can find me on TikTok as MOABITESS, and then Facebook as KimbriaL. But today, what I want to do is introduce like foreign snacks to my guests. So we have a little snack out of Japan. They call like little pero Pocky sticks. Right. Have you ever heard of Pocky sticks?
I've seen them. Yeah.
Okay, so I want everybody to grab one. I love these.
Thank you.
And this is what they look like. They're just a little stick. And the chocolate is foreign chocolate. You'll want to. The chocolate, you want one loud? The chocolate is foreign chocolate, so it don't taste exactly like our chocolate.
Okay.
It's different.
And, yes. So I want to try the Pocky stick. Let's see what y'all think about this.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. You eat this whole thing. It's edible.
Is this
Yeah,
a real
like-
stick?
It's
a
like
biscuit
pretzel.
stick.
Yeah, a biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, do.
So it's a biscuit that they put the little almonds on it.
It's like a cookie, like
Almost like a Twix, right?
yeah, almost.
So is this healthy in any way?
Well, this is one of my. I brought this first because this is something I buy these by the boxes from the foreign store.
Okay.
So this is something that I eat all the time. But
It's nice, a nice little alternative for a healthy snack. It's not too big, you know.
But it is healthier.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that you'll notice, me and my children for like a year straight, we did the snack craze. One thing you'll notice about foreign snacks is that all of them are way healthier than American snacks. It really don't matter if it's a bag of chips, if it's soda, if it's juice. Their snacks are like, if you look at the ingredients, it's literally what's supposed to be there.
Wow.
No extra, nothing. So when it comes to the pocky stick, chocolate is healthy.
It is.
We're supposed to have a dose of chocolate. Almonds is very healthy for us.
Right.
We're supposed to have some nuts in our life. Pause or whatever the young people saying. What are y'all talking about this pause talk anyway?
What talk?
This pause talk.
Oh man.
What you gotta say pause or something? Do women have to say pause?
I was like,
Yeah, y'all got me lost right now.
Well, I don't really know. I was hoping maybe somebody would know.
Pause.
Nah, when you say something of, I guess, the homosexual
is that what that
reference,
is?
you gotta say
think so.
pause. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's just.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So is it just for men?
I had the slightest idea.
I'll figure it out.
That is a good question, though.
But yes, if y'all interested, so what would y'all rate this to the people?
Y'all can try it. Yeah.
I give it like a 6.
A 6
and a half. I mean, it's definitely some that'll be busting, you know. So when you smoke or you drink, that's all you get. You be like, man, you might go for a couple other ones. Yeah,
that's something.
It's definitely
the whole
one.
pack. You looked up.
Yes.
You'll give it a 7.
7.
What you give it?
I give it all a 7.
A 7? Oh, I give it a 8. I love them. And so, oh man, we don't have a juice for you to wash it down with.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
So I do have a special guest coming up here soon, right? She's the maker of these beautiful juices.
Okay.
I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to kill her. Well, we're not. Actually, we can because we're not even gonna focus too much on her business when she come here. We're gonna show different layers of her.
Right.
Okay. That's right.
So she had this dope story to where she came across some health issues. Her and her sister came across some health issues.
It's my sister, yeah.
And so basically, through her own tasting and studying, she healed her and her sister of these major. I'm not talking about no little health issues, major health issues.
Yeah.
Through juicing. So she sells juicing. She teach health wellness. She make these juices from scratch using the best fruits out here. So she goes and really take her time. She go find the local markets that got the best organic things.
Right.
And all of her things is geared to healing some type of part of your body.
Right. Yeah.
She's a beautiful, beautiful sister.
Yeah. She like, it's my sister Tina Savage. But she got beanie juice. Right now I'm on the glow up. So I'm kind of like detoxing and all of that.
What I'm on? I'm on an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, you're on Love Freak, which
Love
is a love frequency.
Yeah.
And
I'm on
looks
that.
like it's good,
yeah.
too.
It is. It's
yeah,
gone. You see, it's I've been trying to save it. That's why I had to hurry up and tell them about it. 'Cause it's about to be gone.
So yeah, so she does the natural juice, and it's gonna be here at Powered by Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, like no cap, people hit my sister up for like blood pressure issues and high cholesterol and lymphatic issues, thyroids. I mean, low key, behind closed doors, she's like always like a chemist or like a like your pharmaceutical, but it's just actually through juices, And my healing was cancer. She has a PCOS or hydrotonitis. A lot of people suffer from those things, and it's not. It's like women. Yeah, a lot of women, men too. A lot. We know a lot of men too that suffer, but it's like silent. People are like.
And what is called again?
It's hydrotonitis. So it's like when you get like cysts and stuff like that. Pretty much it's like your skin deteriorates or eats at its own, yeah.
Oh wow.
So you get like lesions and stuff like that. But she had that going on. She had a couple of surgeries, and then it went from the surgeries and all of the medical aspects of it to I'm gonna heal myself. So she did just that, like what you said. She just shopped for different fruits and herbs and stuff like that. So we looking for farmers, or anybody that grows, gardeners, all that kind of stuff. If you got stuff for sale, you want to donate, just hit us up. Beanie Juice is her Facebook page. Tina Savage is her her Facebook name. And all she does sensual dance too.
Yes.
So that's
what
the women. That's what I got.
Yes.
Yeah, she has a class tomorrow.
Yes.
Y'all register.
Let me tell y'all done put this little obscure name on such a divine dance, calling it twerking.
Or stripping.
Stripping.
Yeah.
But let me tell y'all, so y'all not gonna take our divinity from us. That is Goddess
like
Hips,
that.
ladies.
That is.
I made a
sensual.
song. One of my battle rappers just recently, she brought the song up, right? She said I made a conscious twerk song, right? But it's really she not even far from the mark, because that was the whole point. Like the whole thing was these Europeans tried to shame us for our goddess hips. But as soon as we closed our eyes, they turned around and picked it up.
Right.
And now they trying to use it for their own.
Right.
So we got our hips is divine.
Right. Absolutely.
Let me tell you something. And you don't supposed to be. I mean, yes, it's for enjoyment. But who says what's wrong with that?
Right. Nothing wrong with that. And then, with her, it's like understanding the difference between sensuality and sexuality.
Yes.
It's a big difference, even though it does not look like that. So she's more into the senses. Like, we have our senses, our taste, our touch, our feel, our smell, all of that kind of stuff. And what she does in her dances bring all of that and have women embody, and she has some stuff where men can be a part of it as well.
Wow.
But partners and just different things like that. But basically it's very seductive, but it's also sensual. So it's flowy, and it just really have you as a woman tap into your divine feminine on the next level, to feel sexy but secure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
now there's a such thing as a divine masculine too. So
right,
with y'all being raw from the streets, you first, especially you scratch from you got your ear to the streets. Yes, he raw digging.
Right.
They really do need to see him.
Now, can we get him over here? Because he said some very profound things. I think the people need to attach the face to him. This is my man Jay. He helps me #2 bad for the kids movement. Jay, y'all.
And so, while they switching it up, right? This the question for you two men, right?
What's up?
What do we have to do to pique your interest and to start to care about things like that, and to your opening up your sensuality or opening up your vulnerability so that you could be able to tap into stuff like that? Don't come over here and start to sweating now, because it's between the goddesses now.
Nah. First of all, I gotta invite us to the classes. Y'all ain't invite us to the classes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a link attached to this, but follow on Facebook Sensual Dance Freak. So Freak is FREQ, which is frequency. So you ride in a frequency, and it's
That's dope.
They got me in there already.
Yeah.
That was so dope, though. That was so dope. That was
so
a bar.
but you get the best of both out of it, because you're gonna feel a certain type of way, but you're gonna be riding a wave on that frequency. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm different. Like when I say that, like I move at my own pace, and right now, like I said, I just came home in February, so I'm willing to try anything. I'm talking about different foods. I'm different. Like, yo, you sign me up, I'm there, yo. Like,
I'm ready to see the world.
Yeah, I'm ready to see the world. Like, I've been enjoying myself out here, man. It's been it's been heaven sent, yo. Like,
have you been sowing your royal oats?
Wow, you put that on. Cut.
This goddess talk. This goddess talk.
I mean, I've been chilling, yo. Like, wow, yo, you did that.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
Nah, I've been enjoying myself, yo. Like, and I'm always respectful. Like, at the end of the day,
that's beautiful.
Like, I'm always respectful. Like, I don't care who I'm dealing with and who I'm talking to, yo. I always let them know what time it is, and how I move about things. Like at the end of the day, my grandparents raised me right. My mom raised me right. So I'm pretty good, yo.
Now, were you in the walls, right?
Yes.
Well into our goddesses out here. Were you telling them that you was gonna come out here and make them the wife? You was gonna
Wow.
love them for life.
Oh,
I think we all shot some wells before in our life.
I might
He
have
happy he took
without a
his
shadow of a
seat.
doubt.
Got him in the right position right now.
Damn
right.
You see, I got out of there.
With it.
Then
I wasn't even ready. You
Yes,
know what I'm
like,
saying?
I think, yeah, I definitely have done that. And I definitely, like, I apologize to certain females about that. But at the same time, I realized something like a few years ago. When I first went into prison, I went at the age of 16. And as far as relationships, that's where my mind had stopped at.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Right.
these women that I was dealing with in prison, they was in relationships. Some of them have even been married, had kids, and so forth and so on. So when we was bumping heads, I didn't understand it, but it came to me like, as far as reading the Bible, they say when as you're a kid, you do as kids do,
Right.
and when you become a man, you put away them kids' things and you do as a man do. And that's what I had to realize. Even with stepping out here, like, yo, there's certain things I can do, and certain things I can't do. And I tell any female that's dealing with me, yo, you gotta have patience with me.
That's right.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm breaking out of that 16-year-old mind frame where things are not just black and white. Yo, it's some gray in the middle because I was quick to cut a person off. Like,
Right.
if you ain't do how I wanted to do, yo, I go about my business. But now it is a gray shade. So therefore, I'm moving a little different now, yo. And I'm maturing as far as my relationship, as far as dealing with women. Because I realized I was mature in other stages, but dealing with women.
Right. Right.
So now it's like I got individuals, man, that's patient with me and they take their time and I take my time.
And stay encouraged. And I feel like long as you remain honest, and then you should be good in your walk. And then if you ever decide that you're ready to like open up and love somebody, right, you got to understand that you have to love. You first have to understand how a person needs to be loved.
Yes.
And then you have to love that person the way they need to be loved, not the way you want to love them.
Right.
And it has to be the same way for them. They have to love you the way that you need to be loved, and not the way that they want to love you.
Wow.
So I think that that's a.
I want to say something on that.
Go ahead.
Understanding like love language.
Mm-hmm.
Love language is very important. So when you out here doing your thing, bro, you know, come into what you see what you like, right, first. And understand that part about yourself. So if you like someone that's like they joke around, that's your love language. Or you like somebody that's like standing up, always complimenting you, that's your love. You know,
Right.
see what you like first and gather that together. That way you can have something to present to someone as well. Like, you know, I'm not really feeling that, but I do like this.
Exactly.
You know, so they can interact with you better. And it could be vice versa. You know, see what hers is. If she likes the door opened up, or she likes flowers, or, you know, she would prefer a dinner in the movie versus going to an actual, you know, movie. She might want some stay at home. So it's like different love languages. It's something that is going to take you far in this journey too with, you know, what you're doing and stuff, because it's a big space in between that with people on that. So.
Yes.
Now, before we carry on to our last couple of subjects, how what's my time, Loud?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Two things too, y'all, because the name of this is called Goddess Talk, and so I'm not going to, you know, I don't tell nobody how to speak or their vocabulary to use, but I want y'all to know, all of those that's rocking with Goddess Talk, right? There's a reason why I'm not a queen. The etymology of queen, actually, queen is a Greek word. It means whore. It means prostitute. And Europeans use a lot of word association. So when they came over and they learned about our matriarchs, about our empresses, about our goddesses, they could only associate that to queen.
Right.
So they start to, you know, call us queens or whatever like that. But, you know, in our natural state, we are way more than a queen and a king. A king is a ruler of the animal kingdom.
Right.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're divine spirits.
Yeah.
We're the
Right,
rulers
right,
of the
right.
soul plane and the physical plane. So we rule more than just the animal kingdom. And so that's why emperor, Empress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God, Lord, Lordess. You get what I'm saying?
Highest of highest.
And then also too, being that we are such divinity, there's no way possible we could have kids. Because kids are baby goats.
Yeah, now
Yes.
I did come out of that saying that. I would say my children.
We're children. We bear
Yeah,
children.
I did, yeah.
And then I for the people, like one lady said, well that's that's your belief type thing. I said, well,
No, you define
technically
it.
if you go into the book of Numbers,
Yeah, they
it
speak
starts
of that,
telling
yeah.
you that you have children,
Right.
and that the kids are the baby goats. It
Right,
tells you that we get
right.
into, so it ain't just my belief. It's
Right.
a little
It's
bit
in
everywhere.
sense, so,
Yes.
yeah.
So but anywho, that's all. I just want y'all to know that. And every time we get guests up here, I might make that disclaimer because this goddess talk. I'm not gonna correct them, but I gotta let y'all know the goddess is talking.
Right.
Right.
You gave me something. Thank you.
No
That's
problem.
Peace,
Goddess,
without
yeah.
shadow of a doubt.
Gratitude. It's a little bit more to that I could have added. Like, I could have told you why it actually means whore too, because in order to be the queen, right, you had to be the most beautiful woman in that nation.
Yes.
And if that nation at any time got into a war, right, the king was gonna send you to sleep with whoever you need to sleep with.
Oh, wow.
To get
That's
whatever.
crazy.
You could be a matriarch, a ruler in our nation. It don't matter about your looks. It matters
Right.
about your bloodline. It matters about your capabilities.
Right,
It matters about your
absolutely.
strength. And if we was in war, if the women and the children couldn't be protected, the women was out on the battlefield with the men. We didn't have to go and sleep our way through to a win. We just fought.
Right.
So, that was that about that. And now, real quick before I get into foreign politics, right? I want to do a plug real quick because we have a beautiful sister. This is my boo. This is my goddess sis in the political world. Her name is Uganda. She's out here doing major things. She's been doing major things. God, you can attest to all of the great things that Uganda's been doing. And right now she's
definitely
running
for the
for city council.
Yes.
Okay.
We
Vote
need to get out
Uganda.
here and vote for our girl, because when I say this girl been putting in footwork at these city council meetings for years. When I say years alone, watching what's going on, standing up, gathering all of the necessary street people in different factions and fractions, and making sure that we're aware. If we missed something, a law that done passed or something that passed,
Right.
she go out to the community. They just did this, y'all. They are saying they want to do this community. We need to be aware of this, and we need to
Right.
stand up and do this. We have young street dudes that get out of prison, think they can't do anything without their life. They link up. She support them with them becoming in the city council. Like,
Right.
Uganda is so dope. It is her time now. We need all of the gods and goddesses to go out and vote for this beautiful sister, because she really is out here putting in the footwork. I stand 10 toes with her.
Okay.
So let's go out here.
Thanks.
Let's go and vote. Oh, let's see what her information is. So her website is www.capital.Y.capital.S lowercase AMPLE capital J lowercase ONES.org. And then her phone number is 757-524-1008. Call her and figure out what she needs to help her, because whatever the city needs to do, we need to stand behind her, because she go stand for us.
Believe that. Vote Uganda.
Vote Uganda. And so also now, what do y'all think about this Chicago purge? Have y'all heard anything about it?
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay, so what they're going to do in it, what the essence of what they're saying the attempt is supposed to be, right? It's for people who can't afford bail or whatever, so you won't be in jail for no reason. But as a result, what's going to happen is that a lot of convicted murderers, killers, a lot of people are getting out of jail from this purge law. Like, they're about to walk free with no probation,
Wow.
no anything. They're just about to be purged out the jail system. And so the community is in an uproar,
Yes.
because they like, a lot of these people in there they in there for a reason.
Yeah.
Right,
And they coming back to this community.
And they coming back here.
Yeah.
But then, you got some people I can see the pros and the cons of it.
Right.
I'm not going to be a biased eye to it because we have a lot of innocent people that don't supposed to be in there anyway.
Right.
I just don't think that they fully thought this way out the method of how they're going about doing it.
I think they did, but I think that the stance on it is jaded a little bit on our community. Like if we stay in this vibration right here of each one teach one, that type of if we stay in the understanding that we got to come together, this could actually work in our favor, because I feel like just like with any type of other stance that the government brings in or what they choose to do is always beneficial for the Europeans anyways.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So because we're kind of like having a blind eye to what's going on right now. Honestly, if you look at what's going on right now, it looks like the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not us anymore. You know what I'm saying? Who's on the curb asking for change, and who's,
right.
who look at what our brothers and, what I'm saying, our males, our women, our goddesses, look at what we're doing right now. It's a lot more that's going on than what we think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the collaboration may be low key because you got to weave through it. You don't know who you're dealing with until you deal with them. But we're also understanding that as well. So if we actually build these reforms and we get clean cut, like say y'all doing stuff with the young males and stuff like that in the community, or the killers, like you said, because one thing about this new generation is they don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't really, you know what I'm saying? They don't care. They don't got a whole bunch of cut card. Now, if that was used for good, that would be a missile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Question.
But it's like we have to pour into them that understanding.
We have to.
Your mind is a weapon. Your strength is a weapon. You feel what I'm saying? If we do that and they do these reforms, we lit for real. It's not going to be a bad thing.
So this is the question though, with what you're saying. How do we not drop the ball like the generation before us when it comes to the generations behind us? How do we get them to care? Because I personally think like the generation before us, they dropped the ball because instead of joining in with what we were doing, they ostracized and they judged what we were doing.
Right.
So I'm not going to ostracise twerking. I'm going to show my younger sisters. I've been practicing that home too.
Dance. Yeah,
I got you, girl.
Right.
That's right.
But that's what I'm saying. We gotta lean them into, and we gotta incorporate them. Like for real, we really have to incorporate. We need, when we deal with these communities, we deal with these kids and stuff, we need to ask them what their opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
Children, young youth, all of that, they have feelings. They're affected by when we go through stuff at home as goddesses.
Yeah.
Our children are affected. They know when mommy is upset. They know and they know what's going on with their dads too. They know all of that. They're dealing with their own. COVID brought a harsh reality, but a real reality on the fact that everybody can be affected, meaning children as well. Children lost a whole thought when we was coming up, right? I'm gonna put this out there. When we was coming up, we thought, go to school, go to college, get a nice job, get married, travel the world. Mm-hmm. But we had a goal, like we knew something. Right now, these kids, they don't have a future to look into. Yeah. So it's like, because they don't even know if they're going to school tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Something could happen, and then they whole world, they was used to getting up, going to school, doing this, even if it was messed up, the routine of it all. And that's something that we got to understand as a community. Routines and habits, they can either form addictions and negative aspects, or they can form positive.
That's
right. You feel what I'm saying? That's so right. It's like, just like if an addict, what they do with addicts, it's 21 days. 21 days to formulate a good habit or a bad habit. Mm-hmm. If you do something consistently for a long time, you're going to get a result, right? They broke up the consistency, but it could work in our favor if we snatch it back.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
So, what you think, Gotti?
Yeah. I love what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm learning too.
And what you think, Jay?
Oh,
pardon me. I thought you...
Oh, no. What was your question again?
Well, what do you think that we could do to not drop the ball like our previous generation so that our children can begin to care, because they're not caring right now? And obviously, what we've been trying, at least for the last 10 years, I'm going to say, hasn't been effective.
Right.
So what can we do? We got to apply a little bit more pressure.
Yeah. I'm dealing with that even with the movement that me and my brothers are doing. With the gun violence, seems like the more we stop the violence, the more they're killing. Man, yeah, that's a good question.
I think for men it's harder. it's harder for y'all to come together and come up with a resolution. Because y'all dealing with testosterone, y'all dealing with youth, you're dealing with bullheads and stuff like that. And I think y'all have a bigger task.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, we had conversations about this. How can you tell the young boy down the block not to pick up a gun when the other boy down the block got a gun? And he will shoot him.
Right.
Like, how can you go to his neighborhood and tell him this when we know I grew up out in Lincoln Park. Yo, I know what happens out there. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, it's hard to be like, all right, yo, look, we need you to put down this gun. We need you to do this, get your mind up. When this kid right down the street would shoot him.
Right.
For what he got.
Yes. Like, so it's like, we struggle with that. And I'm talking about we buffing our heads every day trying to come up with a different scenario, how to get kids away from certain activities. Because you look at this gang thing, man, it's just ridiculous right now. Like,
you right. You got the music streaming it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? But it's like
promoting
the music, but it's like, man, let's bring these children, these kids, this youth into local and pouring into that. Yes. Let's have like, because a lot of these kids, they want to do what they see these stars doing, right?
Exactly.
So provide them an opportunity where they can express it, they can rap, they can rhyme, they can, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to incorporate and provide opportunities for them to express themselves in this entirety.
We gotta start. I think that once we get, like, I think y'all have something good. Y'all got all of the who's who names that a lot of street young men came up hearing growing up. Y'all got those people into what y'all, well, not all of them, but a lot of them into what y'all have going on, right? And so if we could go back to a rites of passage the right way, I'm talking about 8-year-olds coming into the street code, even if we got to name it that, to get their attention of how we supposed to conduct ourselves or how to be a young man in this world, right? And then the rites of passage from the teenager up and up and up, right? It'll start to produce a different type of street code in the street now, because now their mama who they feel like they are bigger than and they might can beat now and overpower, or now people who they not saying is corny is trying to tell them this. It's the people that they gotta respect, because the same streets that you moving about, we done put this work in for you to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So this the code. You got children now. Even if you gonna still be in the streets, we still gotta learn how to work on these young men's children, because a lot of them are having children. You got to bring your children here to the street codes program or whatever it's called. And we got to teach them the street code. Once we get hold of the street code again, because we done lost control of the street code.
But it's like, it's not, to me, it's like they don't even have a code.
Exactly. It's out the window.
So it's like building that, because but that's what I'm saying. It's like lead by example though. The street
code is what got us all the way to right now.
Right.
Exactly. Because the street codes was built on the 48 laws of power.
Yes.
And so that's why, and that's, you absolutely correct, Lau. That's so beautiful. That's the street end.
The system is just used against us, man.
Right.
It's used against us.
We don't keep letting them use us.
No, it's not about keep letting them use them. What it is that it's what it is that the same way. But what we gotta understand is that the same way that you got into trouble is the same way you have to get out of trouble. So the street code that they're going to be taught now is not the street code that they were taught then. But
we don't know street shit. We gotta
exactly.
do some other shit. It's just so we can succeed.
Exactly.
Right.
But right now, if you say let's go to Elevation Powwow, how many young street brothers gonna come to the Elevation Powwow?
No question.
Versus how many is going to come to the street code class?
And see, and that's how that's how I want to get kids to read. I started out when I went to prison, man. I was probably reading on like a 5th grade level. I'm 16 years old. I probably went to prison when I was 17. I got in prison actually when I was 17 years old. And I'm reading on the 5th grade level.
Wow.
And I never forget. I got in trouble for fighting. I'm in the hole, and an older guy, he asked me, he was like, "Youngin, do you read?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, man." So he was like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, "Look, I'm gonna send you a book anyway." I'm like, "All right." So boy, you send the book down there. Mind you, I got locked up in 1997. So I got the Walkman, I got the batteries in there, and I'm jamming to the music. The batteries go dead. So boom, now I'm looking at this book looking at me. I'm looking at this book looking at me. I'm like, let me go ahead and pick this book up, man. And I'm talking about from the first page it grabbed my attention. And I don't know if y'all ever heard of the guy's name, Monster Cody, from out of L.A. He was a gang member, turned Muslim, changed his life around, wrote books. But long story short, this book grabbed my attention because it was something I can relate to.
Right.
I'm talking about, it was talking about L.A. gangs, and I'm like, yo, this is the same stuff that happened in my neighborhood. Like, but I couldn't see it because, yo, back then you didn't have no internet or nothing like that.
Right,
so you ain't know nothing about what was going on in L.A.
Right.
It was the O.J. Simpson case.
Right,
So
exactly.
other than that, yeah, you ain't know nothing about L.A., yo. So, but this book grabbed my attention. I'm talking about from the first page, and I'm talking about, yo, every time I put it down, I'm picking it right back up, cutting the light back on, reading it. And like I said, to make a long story short, that's what I want to get kids to do. I want to give them books that they can relate to first. To open their eyes up to reading.
That's right.
Because now, I done read all type of books now. I'm talking about college books. I'm talking about, you name it, I done did it. You know what I'm saying? I done read it. So.
And it make you feel confident as a person, right?
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. Right. Like, I'm talking about, well, I'm able to get up here and speak.
Yep.
Intelligent and have an intellectual conversation.
Right,
with
absolutely.
different individuals.
Right.
And you would have never thought that I was 17 years old reading on the 5th grade level.
Right.
But, yeah, like, that's
encouraging.
Big
my
respect.
thing, like, I want to get these kids, we about to get books donated to us from different organizations and things of that nature. And even if it's hood books, yo, I want to start them off reading.
Triple Crown Production, that was my favorite production.
Exactly,
Right
yes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Nikki Turner.
I've been through the prison system.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? So, but if I can get these books out here and these kids get to read and maybe, yo, all right, they'll pick up something different and read something. You know what I'm saying? Once I get their eyes open. And that's the whole thing. And that might even be nothing about games. A lot of kids play video games.
Right.
So why wouldn't we get them books about how to create your own video game?
Come on, talk to them.
You know what I'm saying?
Finger snaps, right?
Yes, so like,
talk to them.
Right.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And it might be girls, they might like to do hair or clothing or fashion or how to create your own clothing line.
That's right.
Yo, we get them books on that. We got to get them something to open their eyes up to reading.
Exactly.
Right.
Where they at. You got to meet them where they are.
Yes, and I'm talking about when I first came home, yo, I couldn't stand this music. Like, this new music, I can't get with it. You know?
Right.
I'm so 90s and, like, I like the 80s and the 70s music. Like,
exactly.
This 2000 stuff, I can't get with this stuff.
Right.
But my man Gotti over here is like, yo, in order for us to reach them, we got to understand where they're coming from.
Right.
So therefore, I got to listen to their music to understand.
Right.
And once I listen to their music, it took me to a whole different level. And I don't know if we got enough time to get on it, but I'm watching the government pump money into certain artists.
Yeah.
Right.
Get these certain artists out there, promote certain things that they want these kids to see.
Right.
All right, so you say why the government pumping money into these artists? Yo, these government officials have investment in these prisons.
They do.
Right.
Major.
Right.
Your music can get them to the prison, get these kids to go out here and commit crimes to get to these prisons. I got my money back that I just spent.
So you mean to tell me that I get to get paid off this artist royalty? I get to paid off the merchandise that I sell. I get to get paid off to the children that follow behind me going to the prison system too.
Wow.
Right.
I'm talking about you.
It's a documentary on Netflix about that.
Yes.
Like for real. Yeah, it is.
No question.
It is. But that's why I think we need to start
why we
doing
got
like local. We need to support our local artists. We need to support our local artists, our local and see what kids gotta say.
We have to.
Yeah. No,
we have to. We have to. It's a must. It's an absolute must.
Yes.
And so, we gonna go ahead and get to our last final say before we wrap it on up. Right, we're going to be here every Saturday, 5:00. If you have any merchandise you want us to rock for you, if you have any handmade jewelry you want us to rock for you, if you make any snacks, if you make any food you want us to review for you, message me, message Powered by Virginia, and we could definitely show you how we can make that come into a manifestation. We have no problem putting on for our local clothes designers, our local artists, everything. Even if you want a little picture in the backdrop, right here on the table with us or something. If you make conscious drawings and things like that, just message us. This is for the branding of us all. Sis, give us a quote of a day real quick before we ask our guests to go ahead and leave us with their leaving words.
Okay, so my quote is always, be the change that you want to see in the world. So it's like everybody's always complaining, this and that. Well, start with yourself. What is it that you want to see in the world? And are you practicing that? Are you doing that? Are you just saying that and you're not actively doing that? Then you're the problem as well in what you seeing, what's going on.
That's right.
So, that's my quote. Like, be the change you want to. You see some trash on the ground outside, it ain't your yard. It's not your building. But you don't want to see trash all over the world or, in front of your yard or something. Pick it up, throw it away, If you see somebody, that need a donation or something and you mess with the cause, like, donate. Even if you don't mess with the cause, all the way, or it's not your thing, but you understand they grinding for a good cause.
Right.
Support them. Show up. Anything that you want to happen in your world or you wish was different for you, change it within your world, and then you'll start seeing the world change.
Wow.
So that's what.
What about you, Gotti? What do you want to leave the audience with? Anything that you have?
Oh, well, my quote is attached to what we do. Can't stop, won't stop. We'll never stop touching these kids. Like I always tell people, it's a mandate for me. It's a lifestyle. The more, and I say this humbly, the more you kill, the more I'm gonna be out there. I can't wait for the day when we don't got no work, Jay.
No question.
They tighten up out
thing.
here.
No
That's my quote. Won't stop, can't stop. We ain't gonna never stop.
What about you, Jay?
I think my thing is love, and we gotta start loving each other. Because once we love each other, we won't allow no one else to hurt us.
That's right.
So we gotta start loving each other, man, and loving yourself most importantly. Like, love yourself, man. You here for a reason. You here for a purpose, yo. Find out your purpose and live your life, and you'll find out a lot of things come easy. And one thing I did learn about when I came home, yo.
I like that.
This is a good show, man. This is a good show right here.
Yeah, no question. I mean, a lot of people are willing to help you if you're on the right track.
That's right.
And I'm talking about I learned that so easily. I once terrorized the city of Hampton.
Right.
Now I work for the city of Hampton.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Being a
Change. We changing out here.
so like it's possible.
Free the
man.
guys,
Like,
free the
anything
girls,
is possible.
free the children.
Everybody.
That's
And I want to
Give a
thank y'all
person
for
a
having me.
chance.
Loud, man. I definitely appreciate this, man.
It was an honor.
It was
most
an honor.
definitely.
Facts.
Y'all helped me launch my show off the right way.
Right.
This was the vibe I wanted, I
Right.
envisioned, I want to let the people out there know that if you look out in the skies tonight, we will be on a waning crescent moon. And so what that means for the moon and for our spirituality, it means that whatever's on your shoulders, whatever's on your back, just let it go. It's time for us to restore balance in what we have, right? And it's also time for us to put completion to everything that we have started. Any tasks that we have been starting and laid them to the side, let's try to bring them into completion. Also, what it means is staying strong in your decisions, right? Because by you holding strong and staying strong in your decisions, it's going to actually lead to your real desires in life. These is going to be your first steps into getting the real desires. Also, fully release anything that is no longer serving you for the higher of yourself. Don't be afraid to let go, say no. If you can, clean your space tonight. Clean your room, clean your sacred space. Also, if you could help somebody. Help somebody tonight. This will be a great time to start that good karma to come back to you.
Yeah.
Right. And then lastly, refine what you want. Write down clearly what you want, but don't have a drawn out list. Write down a small refined list so the universe can help you manifest some things in this next cycle of the moon, okay? So y'all left here with MOABITESS, the goddess.
MOABITESS,
Y'all,
shout out.
I hope y'all enjoy Goddess Talk, the first initial launch. We'll be back next week. Remember, the goddess are talking. Peace.
Yes.
Powered by Virginia Radio.